In secret, I helped Chris Wolf design a vintage Supreme Cube that plays just like Vintage Constructed. Okay, welcome back, Vintage Gamers, to a very special version of the Wednesday night stream. Tonight, we're going to actually be cube drafting, but not just any cube, and not just a vintage cube. Vintage Supreme Cube is back on Magic Online with a bunch of changes. Now, Supreme Cube is different from regular cube, as you will be given a pack, and you're going to take the first 2 picks out of that pack, and then the pack will be discarded, and basically you pick 2, toss the rest until you have a very powerful deck. There are some tweaks we made to make this a more cohesive product here. So we're going up from 18 packs to 23 packs, and there will be some amount of duplicates in the cube, but restricted cards will never be a duplicate. And so what you're going to get from this experience is you're going to draft a very vintage adjacent deck. It'll look a lot like a vintage deck. It will play a lot like a vintage deck. It will be extremely high power, but you will kind of draft constructed, which I think is a really cool opportunity. It's not a very normal format, and it should play right into typical vintage players' hands. I was one of the few people who was asked for input on this. This is Chris Wolf's Supreme Cube, and I gave input, found some cards that may have been missing. Basically, the biggest thing I wanted to do, and then one of the things Chris wanted to do with this iteration of Cube, is make so the non-wheel, the non-combo decks weren't so poor. Basically, when you have these kind of Supreme Cubes, you see everyone draft very combo-heavy decks, Storm and PO and that kind of thing. And one of the goals here was to make the Hate Bear decks, the Mono White Initiative, the Prison, those decks a little bit stronger. So you're going to see a lot of decks that have a lot of fast mana, and you're going to see a lot of decks that have a lot of combos. Talking about Vault Key, talking about Breach, Tinker Citadel. These are the very typical vintage combos. You're even going to see Fleshraker Top coming in here for the first time. And Nadu Winged Wisdom, plus Shuko, all kinds of those things. You'll have a bunch of permission to stop that with forces and discard and that kind of thing. But we're also going to have those supported archetypes for green, white, and red. Those are typically colors that are not very playable in different kinds of vintage cube. And so this is going to be, especially like the very high power vintage cubes. So this is going to be very different experience. And here's a couple example decks. I don't know why I keep zooming. Please stop zooming. You can see here's like a little bit of a Graveyard Reanimator one. This is a Channel Oath of Druids one. You're looking at, Jewel Ring, Fleshraker, Doomsday, Storm, a Nadu deck. Should be able to draft a Workshop deck, mono black, mono red, mono white. And of course, your blue soup piles are still an option as well. So today's video, I'm hoping we do at least 2 drafts, and I'd like to do something very powerful at first, and then maybe try to draft something that tries to stop the very powerful decks. Those are my goals, but we'll see where the draft takes us in this special vintage Supreme Cube draft. Looking to play some paper vintage? The next full proxy ELD vintage opening is happening in Bellingham, Mass on February 1st. I'll see you there. Okay, welcome to the first picks here. Remember, we're picking 2 cards out of every pack, and we're going to try to make a vintage draft out of it. This is not a very powerful pack because there is no Moxen in this pack. Mindbreak Trap could be a strong card. I'm not really too keen on going into doing Reanimator things. Could go with a nice blue soup Flame of Venor. Could always go for the Void Mirror now and try to be that mono white stompy style deck. I'm kind of interested in doing that. I want to see how it plays against all of these combo decks, and it might be quick and easy wins. Given that there aren't actually any of the most powerful blue cards here, I'm thinking about maybe we'll draft mono white and be the hate police. Obviously, everyone's going to have different things they want to do from this spot, because that's kind of the goal of the cube. You can draft whatever kind of deck you want, And there's no reason you can't take like Chain of Vapor Trap here and lean towards that unfair blue deck. There's no reason you can't take Emperor of Bones and Grizzle Baron and try to play for that Reanimator style deck. But I'm gonna see about mono white. Maybe I'll do this one first, and then maybe our second draft we'll try to do something a little bit more powerful. But I am interested in seeing how these kind of decks fare in a cube deck that is extreme, in a cube format that is extremely combo heavy. Time Walk, Savannah, Arid Mesa, Boromir. I mean, there's no reason my deck can't be blue-white. No reason my deck can't be blue-white. Like, I want a Boromir, but I could always go with Arid Mesa, Time Walk. Time Walk is strong in initiative decks. Obviously, it's hard in Vintage Constructed to cast Time Walk, but it might be easier here. Worth a shot. Oh, can't see the card on the far right. I will fix that. Thank you for letting me know. Okay. It's interesting that we have Torpor Orb make it into the cube. There are a lot of really strong ETB effects, so it makes sense. I helped out on one of the first iterations of this kind of cube rehaul, but I wasn't able to help didn't have enough time to help on some of the future changes along the way, so there'll be some surprises for me. I'm gonna try this. Okay, we've got a Badlands and Underworld. So these are not the best cards for what we're trying to do, which is not great. Cathar Commando is a little bit more of a Lurrus card, but could totally be could work it in here. I guess we don't have to be white. We could maybe be a blue-red Stompy. I don't really like Lodestone Golem outside of Workshop, because if everyone is using artifact spells to make things come out quicker, then it's not going to really help us. Void Mirror, we're going to have to be able to play it on the turn one. Might have been a pretty bad choice. We could go in a different direction and try to, like, go red-green. We have an Arid Mesa. It's not great. I'm not thrilled with where I've gone here. I could, of course, pivot, sink some of these picks, and pick my Polluted Delta. And just play good blue cards. These cards are so bad. I want to hold the line, and I'm going to take Cathar Commando, and I just don't think I don't want to lose my first two picks, but my pack was pretty weak. I could just take Delta and Breach. All right. I tried to play mono white, I swear. These are just like not very good mono white packs. Look at that. A second Void Mirror. All right, so DT. I'm gonna just avoid these two cards that I drafted. Hopefully that won't be an issue. Can I could make this smaller. That doesn't really help, huh? Kind of want these to be big. Okay. All right, so we're swapping into playing good magic cards. So obviously we're down a Chain of Vapor and we're down a Mind Break Trap, which would have been very good in our deck. That's okay. Instead, I'm going to take this Demonic Tutor, and I'm going to take... We have two fetch lands. This Brainstorm could be good, but drawing cards is one of the things that gets hated on pretty hard by things like Hull Breacher. Could just play a trap. I feel like it's Demonic Tutor plus Brainstorm or Demonic Tutor plus Trap. I'm not really interested in playing my own Hull Breacher. I mean, I could. I guess the second pick in this pack is not very strong. I could just play a Hull Breacher. Yeah, I probably want to have some amount of back and forth. I'm okay with that. This does open me up to like some wheels as well, which is kind of nice. So in this pack, I see an Into the Flood Maw, which is one of the better ways to make sure that we can get through hate pieces. There's another fetch land, an off-color island, a Teferi. We could absolutely splash this Teferi, but we could always just take Preordain it into the Flood Maw. I don't really know how good the Preordain is going to be in these decks that are all like so high powered. But we certainly could play the fetch or the Preordain. I'm definitely thinking Into the Flood Maw was my first pick here, just because your deck needs to have a certain amount of bounce. And we passed on the Chain of Vapor in pack 1 to try to draft mono white. And yeah, I'm going to take this fetch land. Might be too much fetch lands. We'll see. Okay, so we've got a Remand, which I like a lot. An Urza's Bauble. Hull Breacher also doesn't play with Lurrus if we draft Lurrus, which I do want to draft Lurrus if we can get it. I like the idea of like Lightning Bolt and Remand. But I could see Bobble or Frog as well. I could see Remand Frog, maybe. Not sure how good Frog is unsupported on its own. I think I just would rather try to play the spells deck here. I'm gonna take these cards. I'm gonna take Remand and Bolt. Ooh, we got Gleamox. This is one of the cards you can't play in Vintage. Add 1 mana of any color. This card is banned. I'm gonna take that and Volcanic Island. I can fetch this off of every single one of my lands right now. And it's gonna help fix us for red in our blue deck. Yeah. Some other cards that our deck would want, maybe. Brazen Borrower, Mystical Tutor, Lorien Revealed, Fourth Airlingas. But Flea Mox, Volcanic. We actually haven't seen very many Moxins so far, but we are still only on pack 8 of 23. So, second Tropical Island came through, second Flooded Strand came through, Dress Down, Stock Up, second Into the Flood Maw came through. I kind of like Snap Stock Up. We're gonna need some more mana, but we'll get there. I think I like Snap Stock Up. Let's do that. Here we go. There's a Mox Ruby. And a Tolarian Academy. I'm pretty sure I'm... Oh, God, there's a Lurrus, too. Here's where it starts to get tough. I need to look at that list and see if there were multiple Lurrus and if there were multiple Tolarians. My guess is no for both, but there might be multiple Lurrus to support drafting it. Obviously, we'd lose our Hull Breacher, but Lurrus is Lurrus. If I can draft Lurrus, I kind of want to. There's only one Lurrus. And there's only one Tolarian Academy. Damn. It is not log. You can exclamation mark the things in the thing to see. I'm going to take this Lurrus. I think it might be better than Academy here for us. Obviously, we're going to lose out on Hull Breacher, but Hull Breacher I wasn't that happy with anyways. Here's our Sapphire. Scrubland is fetchable off of all of our lands and casts Lurrus, but is kind of weird. We could play Trainer. I think I'm just going to play Trainer Mox. Okay, so here's a Force of Will and an Underground Sea. That's pretty straightforward. Not much to say there, though. Cards like Mishra's Bauble, we kind of do wish we had if we're going to play Lurrus Companion. It's not a yes. Like, this is not how drafting Cube goes. But you're basically making a Vintage Constructed deck log. Here's my Brain Freeze. Pio or Scalding Tarn or Drain. Wow. That is tough. This has been some... we've had to make some hard choices. We've had to make some very hard choices. So I think the only card that we were really missing from our bad picks is maybe a different card instead of Hull Breacher and a Chain. Obviously, we'd love to have had Chain. I think I'm going to not take a fetch here, and I'm going to take this Drain. Here's Twister. Thundering Falls. I mean, I'm always taking the Brain Freeze. The second card is the one I was thinking about. Yo, thanks for priming, Norman. Mental Misstep sounds good. Daze sounds good. I could put the Twister back in if I kept Hull Breacher, but I think Lurrus is stronger. Might not be. Hull Breacher might just be stronger than Lurrus in this format. We've already passed a Bowmaster. I don't know if there were 2 Bowmasters in the cube. There are 2 Bowmasters in the cube. I'm just gonna make the deck as good as possible, and I'm gonna do Mental Misstep, and I don't really like taking Twister in a format where everyone's gonna be doing this, but I'm not actually sure how good Thundering Falls is. We do have 3 fetches. All of our fetches get Thundering Falls. We could absolutely splash white for... but I think the power level of our deck is going to be so high, we're not going to need things like Enlightened Tutor. Like, look at this. Look at our deck already. Like, the power level of this deck is going to be quite high. If I take this out, I have 10, 12 spells already. I have 10 more packs. I'm going to take this Twister so it opens us up to have more options. I don't think the Falls is, like, that necessary, and... so I will put these over here as options. Mana Leak, the One Ring. Oh, I think this Vexing Bubble card is broken in the cube. So I'm going to take Vexing Bubble, and I'm going to take Mana Leak. Also, it'll go well with our Lurrus. Here's a second Drain and a Mana Crypt, and our second Brain Freeze. We don't need a second Brain Freeze, right? I mean, a second Brain Freeze might just be nuts, actually, because you can, like, natural Brain Freeze against opponents who also combo, because the library count is so low in draft. Oh, I actually think a second Brain Freeze might actually be good here. Also, there's a Redirect Lightning, which I think is quite reasonable. I love the Gorilla Shaman. It's a great addition. I'm not sure. I can't remember if that was one of the cards I suggested or not. It might have been. This is annoying. My work put an update on the computer, and now no matter what I do for shutdown and sleep, it just reboots itself and comes back. There's no 2 breaches, right? Oh, I guess we do still kind of need... well, there are 2 breaches. We do still need a Lotus. We saw an LED go by, but I didn't really want to play an LED if I can help it. We're like 90... we're like a super high percentage chance to see the thing, but we don't have that many packs left. I'm going to take the second Brain Freeze. I actually think it might be good here. So here's a Mox Jet on color. And there's a second Hull Breacher. That certainly makes my Twister plan better. Commandeer is an interesting idea. Not a lot of cards for me in this pack, so I think I'm going to take this Breacher and give us that option. There's our second Force and our second Breach. Okay. So we're on pack 17. We're looking for a Lotus or a Petal or both. I think we just want Force and Breach here. So I'm not... this Plateau is actually quite good if we play Lurrus. Oh, I guess we don't... oh, I mean, we could play... we shouldn't need an Oracle. We shouldn't need an Oracle. Are there 2 LEDs? I assume there are 2 LEDs. Based on the kind of cards that have duplicates here. Nope, there's 1 LED and we passed it. So we're trying to find our Petal and our and our Black Lotus. Man, I'm not a huge fan. Yeah, but I don't think you need to insta-win. Do you need to insta-win? I don't really feel like that's necessary. I'm going to take this plateau in case we play Lurrus. And I'm going to take Sync. I actually am not convinced Spell Pierce is good, but we'll see. Because I might need to get my blue count pretty high for these forces. And I'd like to play Lurrus, but I mean, at this point, 2 Hull Breachers and a Twister might mean the Lurrus plan is done. All right, here's our Petal. And here's another Underground Sea. I could also play a Negation. I think I want to play a Negation. So I think it's Negation Petal. I'm really missing that chain, but that's okay. Yeah, this is fine. Okay, we're on pack 20 of 23. Marsh Flats fetches non-volcanics. Thoughtseize might be good here. Ancient Grudge, I didn't take any of the green cards. And we're not green lands, and we're not Sean. I guess I could technically take Taiga. That only fetches off of Mesa. There's a Remora, which could be pretty good. I didn't take the LED, so this Echo is not very good. Remora and Thoughtseize. I guess this fetches non-volcanic. I'm gonna take Remora and Thoughtseize. This doesn't fetch a blue land. Oh no, it does. It fetches Underground Sea. If I mill myself for Echo for a Hull Breacher, certainly something. I think I'm gonna take Thoughtseize Marsh Flats. Saga is good. Didn't see Tinker, right? So the Citadel is a little awkward. 2 Forbidden Orchards. Skydiver is pretty nuts in this cube, I assume. But Trainer is kind of where we're at. So I think we're going to go Saga Trainer. Yeah, I mean, if I hit Tinker, then we would take the Citadel. Our deck is probably a quite good Tinker Citadel deck. I'm going to take Saga Trainer. Still haven't seen Lotus. We didn't take Oracle, so there's no Consult Oracle backdoor, which would have been kind of nice. I didn't exactly think about that. I don't think having Vault Key is a big deal. I'm not too sad about missing on Vault Key. Bazaar really, really late in the packs means you couldn't really build around it. There's only 1 Oracle, right? Let's see. There are 2 Oracles. Misty doesn't fetch Plateau. You should be able to build a Bazaar Vine deck, Winmore. Should be able to build a Bazaar Vine deck. I have, what, an Into the Floodmaw for Artifact Hate right now? I mean, the Bazaar is not going to be in here unless you can do something with it. I'm going to take Fetch Pyro. Actually, I might be running out of... I might not be able to play all these lands, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, don't think I want that. I think I want the possibility of playing Suplex. All right, here's my last pack. No Black Lotus. So we missed on Black Lotus. That's quite unfortunate. We do hit a second Flame of Anor to go with our 2 Thundertrap Trainers, though. And we got the chain back. Yeah, we did hit Petal, so we can still do our thing. But Chain Flame should make this deck quite well-rounded. All right. I mean, we have 44 playables after sacrificing our first 2 picks. But our first 2 picks would have been Chain Trap, and we wouldn't have needed those anyways. So, let's see. I'm thinking this is a Lurrus deck, not a Breacher Twister deck, but we could bring in Breacher Twister against people who are trying to Twister us. So if I play like this, how many lands do I need to add? What a wild deck, huh? 4 fetches, 3 lands, 15 land. I mean, we might not have to do much. I think I want an island and definitely want a basic island. This Marsh Flats might be bad. Let's see. Definitely want a basic island. And maybe a basic swamp. It's not the best basic swamp deck. Should we put the Pyroblast on the board for now? I assume we're going to play against a lot of blue decks, but... This Marsh Flats fetches not... This Marsh Flats might just be bad, right? I guess it fetches C. It fetches red and black. Yeah, maybe. I think my opponent's deck is more likely to have an artifact. Every deck has artifacts, right? Kind of depends on what people play, but I feel like it's going to be a lot of blue. So this is 11 lands plus 11-ish lands plus 6. This looks good. How many blue cards? Most of our deck. 9, 12, 15. We're kind of playing a mix of my deck and Sean's deck, huh? All right, I think something like this is close. If I make any changes, I'll let YouTube know before we start round 1. All right, we got the round 1 streamer battle here up against Demonic Tutors. I'm gonna reveal my Lurrus because this is vintage. That's a hell of a hand. Okay. Yeah. Okay, this deck is sick. Keep. Mana Crypt. Soul Ring. Manifold Key. I almost wish we had like a Null Rod. Maybe we should have picked up a Null Rod somewhere along the line that we could just like tutor for and then play fair afterwards. I don't know if that's actually good for our combo deck, but Saga Gaming is quite good here. Yeah, there's no Rods and Stony Silences, but it's tough to draft that from here. Okay. I think I would assume we're not mental mana leaking anything next turn, right? Like If he played nothing this turn, what's the chance he plays something that I need to leak next turn? I feel like we start with a Thunder Trap Trainer to inform us on what we need to Demonic Tutor for. And then go from there. I'd love to see like Flame of Anor, right? Okay. I guess we take Freeze and we DT for Underworld Breach. I mean, it's gotta be good, right? it's gotta be okay. Okay, so he is blue. 3 cards left. DT. So he's DTing for Time Vault Key. But I have Force. Got him. So our combo here is not deterministic for what it's worth. But it should be pretty close. Wait, no, it is, because I have a Demonic Tutor, right? Oh, but I might not have enough mana after. Let's see. So I will cast Underworld Breach and then cast Brain Freeze on myself. Need to hit a mana. Hit a Sapphire. So if I go Sapphire, do I have enough? Oh, I can just Brain Freeze myself again afterwards, right? This is how many? DT puts 3. I'll have DT and I won't have enough cards left if I go DT for Lotus Petal, right? So I just have to Brain Freeze myself again. 12. I'm a 50-50 to hit this. Even if I fail, I can just Lurrus it back later, right? I hit it. Cool. Woohoo! All right. Who's the Breach gamer now? That was clutch. All right, so blue-black Volt Key. We didn't get to see more of our opponent's deck than blue-black Volt Key. I like the idea maybe of playing Suplex and Pyro. Not sure if we really want to play Hull Breacher or Twister. We could maybe take out Lightning Bolt and maybe take out Bobble on the draw. Yeah, I'll take out Bobble on the draw and have Lightning Bolt out for Pyroblast Suplex. Maybe this is too many bounce spells, actually. But what would I play instead? I think I'd rather have blue cards than non-blue cards, so let's run like that. All right. Not a bad first game. Have a cat. This hand does not look good. 2 breaches, negation, no real mana. Let's just mulligan this. This looks better. Let's get rid of Suplex so I have additional blue cards I can use. Not having Lotus and Petal like makes our deck a little bit less consistent than it should be. I guess we also don't have I don't even know how to look at my deck. We also don't have Ancestral, huh? So we missed on Ancestral and Lotus. Another Mana Crypt opener. He's got a Petal. I do kind of wish I had that trap, though, that we sacrificed on turn 1. No, I can't counter that with negation. So Emery hits Sensei's Top, Voltaic Key, and Lotus Petal. Another turn 1 Saga. Okay. As long as I negate the Time Vault, though. Like, his deck might be all in on Time Vault Key. What do we think about chaining. Probably not. This Marshflats does get a blue source, so that's good. So we are probably going to lose the construct tokens. We didn't take dress down. I guess we can use chain. We also have to keep in mind we can do natural freezes when opponents like play a bunch of Moxin and stuff out and just like take away most of their library. Petal's coming back. Transmute artifact. Well, we can't let that resolve because that will just get a time vault. So I am going to, I think we can get rid of the brain freeze. That way we still have some backup plans here. All right, well, we got answers to, is Needle in this cube? I don't think so. Oh, it is. Holy shit, Needle is in this cube. All right, well, I'm going to have to fetch in response to the Saga trigger then. Underground Sea, Volcanic Island. One of the problems now, though, is if they find Time Vault, the Emery can bring it back. All right, this will be Underground Sea, and this will be Volcanic Island. All right, so what does he tutor for with this Urza Saga? This Emery looks real good. I won't lie to you. Makes me want to bring that bolt back in. But I have Pyroblast and Suplex. I don't really need the bolt. I think this deck might be stronger than Vintage Constructed, not me. It's pretty crazy. Play something big. Oh, yeah. Mystic Forge. I will drain your Mystic Forge. Do I win? I got rid of my Brain Freeze, so maybe not. LED last card. I assume you're going to buy back a Petal. So I'm taking 6. I have 2 removal spells. Wish I had an Ancestral. I'll tell you that much. I guess you can play the Mystic Forge again next turn. Okay. So what can I tutor for here that will actually do something for me? If I tutor and then get an Underworld Breach, and then I tutor again, how far do we get? I just need a blue card. Any blue source here, right? I don't need. So I DT for a breach. I play breach. I DT using my 3 fetch lands for freeze, and then it's probably wins. Oh, I don't have second black, and I can't search for second black. That's pretty unfortunate. I didn't really have a way around that. Did I have a way around that? I don't know if I had a way around that. So I don't actually have a second black. I could chain a bunch of his stuff. I have DT. I mean, I could kick a trainer here. That might just be good enough. Oh, I can't kick a trainer here. I'm still short on kicking a trainer. So maybe I just cast Stock Up then. Force Freeze Thoughtseize Trainer. That's not very good for me. I guess I can take Force, play a trainer, chump with my trainer, and then try to win off the trainer hit. Yeah, that's probably fine. Because I think I have to, I guess I don't have to force Saga. Maybe I should just take the Brain Freeze then. Too late. I mean, I have DT in my yard. I shouldn't need that. Right? Shouldn't need to take the Brain Freeze. Oh, I missed. Okay. I have a Time Walk rebuy. Interesting. Maybe I took the wrong cards there then. Hmm. I actually don't have any Moxen either. So this is not the Forge, or... Okay, here comes the Forge. I'm probably going to force this, because, like, what else am I doing with this force in this game? Like, there's just no other thing. I think I'm dead. Because I actually don't have enough mana. Unless I draw a mana this turn, and then... a Breach... I think I'm just going to not have enough mana to win this game. Sync. So if I don't play Sync, I can theoretically bounce both of these on my Time Walk turn if I draw a mana. If I play Sync, I can draw Underworld Breach, Demonic Tutor, Lotus Petal. I don't think I'm gonna have mana after, but I mean, I think I want to draw. I mean, we haven't seen either Breach, right? I guess if I draw Suplex, I'm still alive as well. I drew Petal, so I'm dead. Okay, I think I played that game awful. I have a sneaking suspicion that I played that game terribly. Oh wow, did I like know all those cards in that order? I'm gonna bring Bobble back in on the play, and I'm gonna take out into the Flood Maw. I'm gonna hit submit. Okay, I think I was supposed to win that game, and I played really badly, so it's good to know. Oh, I just didn't have any mana to leverage Lurrus, so this looks fine. Suplex being a sorcery here is a little unfortunate. Not like my strongest hand by any means. The fact my Breach kills are not very good. Maybe it's because there's no Lotus. Do I want to hold this Ruby for Storm? Could get punished pretty hard. I'm just going to play it out. We should look for, like, natural freeze on our opponent, depending on how deep they go. See, it was a 6-card hand from the opponent, so we'll see. Yeah, I'm really sad about that game too. I think I flubbed it. Jet. Emery would be fine here because we can suplex it. Nothing. Go. All right. Well, we'll go. Upkeep Ancestral. Oof. Okay. Sapphire. So we can go Breach Brain Freeze and do Storm is... So it'd be 9. It's not a very high hit percentage. I think I'm just going to hold open, hard cast, negation, and pass. I'm going to hold the Sapphire. I haven't had it. My Breach deck does not have Black Lotus or Ancestral Recall, which is not good. And it's not ideal. I also got rid of my first 2 picks because I drafted mono white cards and then I got off it. My opponent's passing again. It's just F6 checking me. Ew. So if I let this resolve, it just takes Force of Negation, probably. Guess that would be fine. Took Breach. That's surprising. I have a cast still. I guess he was threatened by Breach Brain Freeze, which is, you know, non-deterministic power play. If I hit a land next turn, it's actually quite good. Makes sense. Maybe I misevaluated them. Pass again. No lands in my opponent's hand. 6 spells. He must have counter magic, right? Saga Gaming? Saga Gaming is fantastic here. I'm just going to chill. Maybe I should play Sapphire here so I have Breach and Negation up, actually. Keep. Pedal. I also might be able to just like get so many cards out of their deck they can't win in infinite turns. Emery? Brain Freeze, Time Walk. So he has his own Brain Freeze. Okay. I don't think I'm freezing here for 12, 16 cards. Doesn't sound right. A Jet. Man, I guess if I had kept my own Breach here, I'd be in a better place, huh? Okay, I'm going to play Jet. Sorry, I should play Sapphire. I'll play Jet, and then I'm going to suplex this Emery. I guess I don't have to suplex the Emery. Okay, I'm actually just gonna like get all my things out so I can play as many cards as I want this turn. Because I have a pedal in my deck to search for. Oh, maybe I should buy Lurrus then. Should I buy Lurrus then? So that next turn I could go Lurrus Breach. I'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. Lurrus 5. I mean, I'd have enough. Is that really what I want to do? I don't think so. I think I just want to pass. I am like winning on board with constructs. What weird games. Blue with pedal. Can rebuy. He has so many cards in hand though. Yeah. Is this Twister? Transmute artifact? Treasure Cruise? God, I wish I had a Black Lotus. It'd actually make things so much easier if I had a Black Lotus. DT. So if it's Time Vault protected, I can't really do much about that. I could Brain Freeze now, and if Time Vault is one of his 9 cards, it's not even that good because I'd have to get rid of the Emery, which I can do. If it's Breach of his own, it's pretty bad for me. Let it happen. I guess he's probably likely to have Breach in his deck if he has. I mean, not really, because you can just Brain Freeze naturally in this kind of format. Tolarian. Transmute. I guess I have to counter Transmute. I don't have to counter Transmute. I can Brain Freeze for 12 here. If I counter this and he still goes infinite on this turn, the freeze might be enough. Okay, so he has counter backup, drain on my negation, and then I have storm count is 5. It's pretty high. Yogwill, Lotus, Mana Vault, LED. Let's hit the Time Vault. Hit the Oracle. Oh, if he just has a Breach in his deck, it's pretty bad for me. But maybe Yogwill was the card. Let's see. Still sacking Jet. He's got 8 cards left. Gets another key. So as long as my Suplex kills the Emery and there's no, like, Breach in the deck, should be fine. Blue, black. No! Brain Freeze target me! How much is that? I'm at 8 as well. But I have a Lurrus. Drain. So I'm just gonna let this go. Get a Black Lotus, suplex this, and hold open drain and buy Lurrus if possible. Get a Lotus Petal. Deal 3 to Emery. Buy Lurrus. I think we got it. Wow! My opponent also had double Brain Freeze. Oh, that was one of the sickest matches I've played in a long time. All right. Maybe we'll make a couple of videos with this. This was awesome. Okay, here we go. Round 2. We had an awesome round 1 match, so I have high expectations for the rest of this. What does this hand look like, chat? If this hand was on the play, it'd be really good. I mean, this might still just be good. It kind of covers a lot of bases. As long as we don't die on turn 1. See what opponent has for us. Gataxian Probe is unfortunate. I'm just joking. But you never know. I'm sure he'd be an incredible Magic player. His game looks a lot harder than Magic, to be fair. I watched some of his videos, and that game looks so hard. All right, Delta Go. Misstep is a sick draw. I'm interested in holding open Mana Leak on this turn. Yeah, let's pass. I actually think it's a similar skill set to Vintage, actually. I'm not convinced it's a different skill set. I think it's actually quite similar. I don't think it will be similar to every Magic format, but at least in comparison to Vintage, I think what's called VGC should be fairly similar. All right, now I'm gonna play Saga Bauble. See what opponent does. It gets drained. I think that's just fine. All right. So, I mean, seems like a good place to be. Don't know what opponent's up to. Might just be Esper control. Let's get our cat on the window. That round one game took a long time. Wasn't really ready for that. Land would be a best draw. Let's go. I mean, I'm not doing anything until I'm not moving here until my opponent does something. I've got counter magic. I've got bolts. I've got saga tokens. I'm playing in control. Petty theft, my vexing bauble. Oh, that's a funny one. Okay, I think I'm just gonna crack it. Let's go get Underground Sea Volcanic Island. And then I'm going to use the Underground Sea to crack it so that the borrower goes away and I still draw a card and I still hold up everything, basically. I think that puts us in a good spot. It might mean we don't make a construct, to be fair. But that's okay. We have a breach kill, right? Seasoned Dungeoneer. I see. Do I have a breach kill with mana leak backup, or is this superfluous? I think I just leak this and then see if my opponent beats my breach kill. Why would they bounce the Vexing Bauble unless they have force, though? So maybe I mean, if they force here, I would be very happy. They do. They force through the Seasoned Dungeoneer pitching force. So as long as we don't get trapped, I think we just win. It makes sense if they bounce the bauble that they had force. So this gets a Gleamot. Oh, I guess this gets a Mana Crypt. That's better, right? One. I wanted to cast a Thoughtseize. Can I cast a Thoughtseize and still... I think so. Okay, well, it's got nothing. All right. I might actually have not been able to do that. I No, I can cast the Brain Freeze next and just target them. Well, that one, I might not have been able to go that deep. I might have had to Brain Freeze myself first. I was just trying to play around Mind Break Trap, but that was a little, I think that was a little dicey. I'm not the best at Underworld Breach math for some reason. All right, so we're playing against Esper Fair cards. Esper Fair cards. We saw 2 forces, so I think I like Bauble, even on the draw. It's not clear that my Bolt is good. Swap that out for a Pyroblast. Let's just do that. Initiative is very fair. I think the unfair part about Mono White is not initiative, it's Archon of Emeria. Initiative is just like initiative is like creatures that have a lot of power for some reason. It's like if you like just put a bunch of like, extra toughness on a Tarmogoyf. You know? It's just a faster clock. I'm surprised my opponent used their forces there to push through the guy when they had a frog they could have played, so a little surprising. This hand looks great. Ruby. Thoughtseize. Okay. Definitely not playing a trainer here. That's a crazy draw. Yeah, let's see what you're working with. Actually, unbelievable draw. I got flustered? Damn. I could reman my Thoughtseize. No, if I get initiative creatured here, it's so bad for me, right? I can't do that. I need to have remand for a Seasoned Dungeoneer here. That's true. If we had second black, we could do another Thoughtseize on the same turn. Frog. That's also worth remanding. Can't replay it, so. Are they thinking about forcing it? It's just a remand. It's just a remand. They're forcing it. Pitching Cruise. I'm gonna negate this thing. I don't want this hitting. I buy so much time like this. Reach? I just got rid of my Brain Freeze chat. I also don't have a red source. Time Walk? Okay, I guess that makes sense. That's why it was valuable to force through. Time Walk. Chain of Vapor stock up. I'd love a stock up. Thanks for asking. Swamp. Stonks. Lotus Petal Flame of Anor. Got him. Surely we're just casting this. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Our deck is sick, by the way. Our deck is so sick. Any red source, we win. Buying Lurrus. What does that look like? Yeah, looks good. Yeah. Yeah, it's great. Okay, here we go. I have a Lurrus. I'm the only player in my rounds here who has had a Lurrus. I once again lost the die roll. It's not good. Oh, I'm just a big Ragavan hater, Chris. It has nothing to do with how good it is in the cube or anything. I just think that card is not that good. There are a lot of Moxen in this cube, so you can do a lot of dashing, which is kind of nice. All right, our third blue matchup. I'd like to build a non-blue deck next draft, chat. Vexing Bubble would not have stopped this draw from our opponent here. Mental Misstep would have been pretty good, though. I think I am just going to pass with Leak Up and hope it is good enough, because what else am I doing here? Like, I guess I could be trainering for a force. That might actually be a good idea. Let's do that. I think Mana Leak has a high chance of not countering the cards that I needed to counter from this spot. I missed on force. I did hit Gleemox and Lightning Bolt and Jet. All right, we'll take Gleemox. I could play another trainer. Surely 8 cards deep finds one of our 3 forces, right? No! All right. 8 cards deep did not find one of our 3 forces. So if I play Vexing Bauble, I can't Mental Misstep. But if I play Vexing Bauble, do I have any chance of, like, is it going to help me? What would it help me against? It would help me against Tinker, Citadel. It would help me against maybe Mox and Pio. I'm going to play it. I just don't think that the misstep and the leak are like what I need here, so I feel like I'm very dead, unfortunately. We'll see. Maybe it doesn't have anything good. Like, if the payoff is Tinker, right, then this bubble is quite good here. Nothing? Pass? I love that. I guess it's a fine to attack into a Hole Breacher. Can't. It's not great to attack into a Hole Breacher. I'm just gonna pass. I guess I could buy Lurrus. Whoops. I like want to be able to crack Bobble in response to a Hole Breacher. I should have bought Lurrus though. I have enough mana where that would have been fine. City of Traders. But my opponent is still not casting anything. Okay. I guess I could die to my Mana Crypt. All right, this time I will buy Lurrus, like a good boy. I still think it's correct not to attack into a possible Hole Breacher here. If I learned anything from my recent vintage actual constructed mistakes. Also, they're playing like they have a Hole Breacher. Still not making any plays. I mean, I have to do something at some point. Hopefully I stop losing Mana Crypt flips. There we go. Drain? I don't have anything to bring back with Lurrus. I guess I have a Vexing Bubble. Okay, that's a pretty good reason. All right, I'm in. How much mana do I have? Black mana, blue mana. Oh, yeah, I mean, we can do that. Mana drain on my Lurrus. I feel like this is just fine. Maybe I can draw into remand and remand my Lurrus. I wish I could sink into stupor my Lurrus. This is fine. I got a Saga. I can pass with Drain up. I think that's totally fine. That's just a free 8th card, chat. I don't even have anything to return besides the Vexing Bubble. Don't talk about the Vexing Bubble. They do have infinite mana here. What if they play Emrakul? 3, 5, 7. Oh, Glaring Fleshraker. 13 life. I think this is fine. I just counter like payoffs for this, right? I mean, it's like good against Saga tokens, but I just don't know that that card is something I actually need to counter from here. I mean, I gotta counter that one. What is this? Hard cast force backup? Oh, baby! Oh, glad I had an island left. I didn't think about that. All right. I think we're in a good spot. I correctly did not counter the Glaring Fleshraker, chat. Now I just need to win. Man, I simply did not get to use my mana drain mana, huh? I guess I can just make a construct. I'll save this for Storm. Okay. I guess I don't have a Sensei's top. I might actually be in trouble if I don't find some good spells. Things are getting a little dicey. Oh, last spell, last spell. 5? The Coveted Jewel. So he has to block with everything. No, because he's gonna get more Fleshraker triggers. I could bounce Fleshraker, attack all. I guess you could draw another colorless producing thing. What's the likelihood my opponent can make another colorless mana if I let this resolve? I'm just going to bounce it. On the stack, on the stack. Also, they're going to be almost tapped out again next turn, so. Lost the Crypt Flip. Drew the Breach! Does the Breach do anything? The Breach doesn't do anything. Once we cast Lurrus. I can sink the Fleshraker. Cast Lurrus, sink the Fleshraker. Okay, I think I'm gonna not make a construct. Lurrus doesn't actually have lifelink because my opponent has all Drazi ones. So I'm gonna saga. I'm gonna not make a construct. And then I'm going to Lurrus back. I'm going to breach back my Lurrus. And then I think I cantrip with the bauble here. Cast this with Lurrus. Because a Brain Freeze still wins. Shramp. So now I think I just sink the Fleshraker. Losing the bauble? Is that bad? I should have... Huh. Yeah, I guess I mean, I'm doing it right. All right, so then my breach goes to my yard. I can recast it with Lurrus later here. I am at 6. I don't think losing Petal... I feel like losing Petal is bad. If I draw... Maybe losing Petal would be fine. I have so much mana. Yeah, maybe I should have kept Bauble and lost Petal. You're right. Maybe I could have done that. All right, my opponent's down to 10. Breach to the yard. So my opponent's hand is Glaring, Fleshraker, and Coveted Jewel. And I have a mental misstep. Opponent replays Glaring Fleshraker, I assume. Yeah. And then what do they draw? They drew a Mox. Okay. So I'm at 5. There are 3 Eldrazi spawns. Wait, he has enough to play... Oh, I guess you can play a Jewel, yeah. I guess maybe I'm just dead. Huh. I kind of forgot about the spawns. This probably means I'm dead. So I can't actually attack through that. Okay. I mean, I couldn't have changed any play I made, right? I could have drawn another card with Bobble instead of playing Sync. So if my top card is Brain Freeze, then I lost the game because I played too conservatively. It's a bad sign. Defense grid. Can't do anything about that. All right, my opponent has 1 card left. If it's not something broken, then we can untap, win a crypt flip, and still win. If it's something broken, we die. It looks like a Tinker. That's not good. Citadel, 10 life. Thoughtcast, 5 life. Any 2 colorless things kill me. Sensei's top. I can't counter it because of defense grid. Damn. Okay. All right, so if my top card is Brain Freeze, I could have won this game by drawing an extra card with Bobble. Snapcaster. I wouldn't have done it. Okay. I mean, my opponent's deck is pretty high octane here. I think I'm going to drop Lurrus for Breacher Twister. And... I'm going to drop Bolt. Flood Maw. Shane. And a Breach. These Brain Freeze can natural kill my opponent. Oh yeah, I'd like to just be a bit better at controlling what my opponent's doing here. I've got no fast mana. Brain Freeze. Mana Leak, Twister, Trainer. This hand's just like so medium. Can I really keep a hand like this? Against like my opponent's crazy combo deck? I don't like to. I don't want to. Yeah, this hand's much better. Am I going to Thoughtseize on turn 1? Or am I going to hold up a remand? I need to hold up remand because I need to hit my land drop. Pass? Maybe I could have kept my opening hand then. Oh, Black Lotus. They were F6 checking me. Let's see. Hit my land drop. Thoughtseize you. Maybe I can remand the thing they play off of Lotus. That'd be pretty high value. These games are crazy. All right. My opponent's hand is Force of Will, Mana Drain, Time Walk, Monolith, Volt. Full control. Wow. Okay, I am going to take the Mana Drain, leaving them with Time Walk, Force Vault thing, and play my Thunder Trap Trainer. You're more likely to see your power, and you're kind of more, you kind of have more of it almost. They're going to force my trainer? All right, my opponent's hand is Island, Monolith, Time Vault, Infinite Mana. I have Snap Thoughtseize next turn. Are they going to play the Time Vault out? All right, their hand is Time Vault. They're going to play it out. Smart. Smart play. All right, my opponent has no cards in hand. I have a negation. Okay, your move, opponent. Your move. What do you draw? Voltaic. Okay, I will exile your Voltaic key. Okay. Okay, I see you, opponent. Maybe if you hadn't forced my Thunder Trap Trainer. Oh man. Alright, I will take Force. Thunder Trap Trainer is so good. Holy hell. All right, come on. We can play fair control. That's what we're here for. That's our deck, fair control deck. Grixis control. Vexing Bauble. think that's fine to play. Because we can always crack it. Oh, they just skip a turn to untap their time vault. Nice play. Nice play. Just gonna crack it now. I need to hit lands. There we go. There we go. Okay, so now I can destroy this time vault. I think I'm going to just do it now. They get 2 turns this turn, but that's fine. All right, so they got 2 turns. I've got Force Misstep. And they know about Force. Flame and Orphan was from Lord of the Rings. That's why these nice Universe Beyond's modern power level sets are so sick. Coveted Jewel. Tapping on a Remand was kind of bad, huh? I'm just going to force it. It's too risky. Not with them having a whole extra turn. All right, they're out of cards. Wait, what is this? Oh, untap mono. Okay, sweet. So now I have Snap. I have Snap Flame. Also Snap Negation. I also can buy Lurrus. What sequence of this is correct? Oh, I don't have Lurrus because no, I have Hull Breacher. Fantastic. Hull Breacher's shit card. Why did I bring in Hull Breachers? I'm gonna hold open the ability to Snap Flame or Snap Negation and attack for 1 every turn, I think. I don't feel like I should to use the Snapcaster too soon. Fleshraker is so good for me. All right. Snap. Flame. Flame. Destroy. Deal 5. Draw 2. Twister. So I can DT for... I mean, I think I can breach kill my opponent, right? Can I Twister kill my opponent too? I have DT. I'm 1 mana short. If I DT for... I mean, I have a DT kill here, right? So... DT. Breach. Breach. Brain freeze. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I did not hit pedal, but I can brain freeze my opponent twice, which is good enough. All right, game 3. Am I bringing back in Lurrus after seeing what I've seen? Do I want an extra answer to Glaring Fleshraker? Well, I want Vexing Bauble out. Might just bring this Bolt back in. I guess Suplex if they have Volt Key is better. It doesn't let me go at instant speed, but it's probably fine. That was some beautiful Remand, Snapcaster, fair blue gameplay. Not me just played a 50 card deck and 50 card trophy. Yeah, I mean, Trainer Flame is just an unbelievable pairing there. All right, this is multiple forces. Pyroblast off of Plateau. This looks like a keep to me. Trainer Flame is so strong, right? Like, I don't know, I don't know if Sean's actually tried it yet. What is this? City of Traders on turn 1? But like, it's so broken. This card is so good. Offense Grid. Well, that's lame. Guess I'm negating it. I drew Plateau. Okay. Is the city going away? Goodbye, city. This is why I kept my Force of Will and not my negation. I think I'm just going to force this. All right. Well, we're kind of out of everything, by the way. Think I'm in trouble. I'm glad I countered using the right force on the turn 1. All right, no more cards. Saga Gaming? Saga Gaming is fantastic here. Lotus! Oh, no. Not like this. Not like this. Natty Volt Key. Blue. Tinker? No, 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 no. That's bad. That's really bad. That's really bad. I think I'm dead. Well, maybe if I draw Brain Freeze, I can Breach Kill. Okay, so if I can live one turn, if I can live a single turn, I can get my pedal and I can do the thing. Come on, Pyroblast, don't fail me now. Also, they have two forces in their deck, right? So I don't know about that one. Seems like hopefully they just like go all in on a Tinker or something. Something Pyroblastable. All right, well, I think that's good enough. Three cards left for the opponent. Also, I have natural Brain Freeze as well. So we have other options if they like go crazy. This is very not me format. It's a very much a not me format. It's very Justin format too. It's pretty sweet. Transmute Artifact. So if I were to Brain Freeze my opponent right now for 15, do I have enough cards that should I just Brain Freeze right now? What if they have, yeah, I guess this is fine. I guess like waiting doesn't actually change anything here. So they're just going to draw more cards. So I just respond to this with a natural freeze for 18. I guess there's no reason to do a natural freeze for 18 right now, unless there's like a Flusterstorm or something. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to do it. Do I need to put any of these cards in my own yard, chat? I don't need to, right? Because I Underworld Breach and I have everything as it is. No, I should put 3 cards in my own yard. Should I? I'll have 1 card. No, but I'll play Breach, and then I'll play Freeze out of my yard, so I'm fine. Oh, but I need the... No, I have 4. I have enough mana. Let's go! Oh, let's go. Not bad. Not bad. All right. First draft, first trophy. Let's go. So yeah, I mean, I guess we can pull that deck back up for a sec. I guess I don't have it naturally saving those. So let me just pull this. So this was our deck. I liked Lurrus. I think bringing in the Breacher Twister actually made my deck worse, even though I think it made sense for what we were playing against. We trophied without Lotus and without Ancestral. I really like what we put together, though. We made some hard choices during the draft, and they paid off. And this was with sacrificing our first 2 picks. Though, to be fair, if we had drafted the blue cards in our first pack, we would have had a second Chain of Vapor and a Mindbreak Trap. Both would have been pretty good, but I'm not exactly sure how they fit in the deck. So we sacked our first 2 picks and then trophied. Our mana base was definitely our weakest point. Even with this crazy amount of fetching, like, we kind of went a little wild to make sure that we could do Lurrus and the splashes. Thundertrap Trainer Flame of Venor is incredible. Brain Freeze is pretty good, especially because Brain Freeze is, like, I think naturally just good in this cube, because even if you don't have Breach, you can, like, cast it on your opponent when they're comboing, like non-Breach comboing. We had a ton of forces, which helped a lot. Picked those up at the back half of the draft. Lightning Bolt didn't really do much. The Suplex did, though, so it's nice to be able to draft, like, all cards that are going to go in your deck and then a bunch of sideboard cards. So I thought that was a pretty awesome first draft. We'll probably do another one here. It will likely be a second video, just because this one was a bit of a longer draft than I thought it was going to be. So if you're interested in more Supreme Cube content, make sure you're following on Twitch and subscribing on YouTube. Free ways you can enjoy the vintage content. And of course, new videos come out every Wednesday, Monday, and Friday. Wow, I misordered it this time. I'll see you then.